Well, this year among the finalists we do not have Arabic teams, but there is somebody who is inviting us to learn from Arabs, and this team
We would like to invite on the stage Rats Upreti. Rats?
Welcome.
This is our fifth idea before the break, so the last idea of the first part. And the title of this idea is Learn from Arabs, Focus on Comparative Advance to Ensure Food Security.
Okay. From Nepal.
Should we start? Good morning. I'm Raj from Trivandrum University, Nepal. First of all, I would like to apologize on the behalf of my partner as she couldn't attend the forum. And I would like to thank the Barilla team for providing us with this opportunity to present our idea in this forum. Let's get started. Firstly, I want to introduce you to the current food insecurity analysis of Nepal. In the figure, the dark areas represent the most food insecure areas, and the light areas represent the most food secure areas. From the figure, we can see that the central, midwestern, and far western hills and mountains are most vulnerable to food, whereas the western region and the eastern region are most food secure. So the reason behind this, we'll see in next slide. Currently, the trucks loaded with commodities are being transferred from Tarai to hill region, and the trucks are returning empty from hills to Tarai. And there is a single way cash flow, that is from hills to Tarai. And the reason behind the empty trucks and the cash flow and the insecurity of food in the hills and mountain is more competitive farming. Before a decade ago, when there weren't road network and road network didn't connect the hills and mountains, the people of hills used to enjoy the locally produced food materials, and there wasn't any market competition. But when the road connected hills with Tarai, the influx of the food commodities such as rice, wheat, flour, biscuit, noodles, etc. into the market of hills created a more intensive market competition. So it displaced the local people from their own market. When the people were displaced from their own market, they lost the marketing power. When they lost the market power, they started cutting down their production, the income declined, purchasing power also declined, and the laborers get laid off from their jobs. So it created vulnerable food environment as people have no money to buy food. The results were devastating. Firstly, the market power declined as people couldn't sell their products. Then income declined. The purchasing power declined along with the income. When people didn't have any money to buy food, the accessibility of food declined dramatically. And lastly, the only thing that increased is migration and conflicts. When people didn't get job in the local market, in the local area, they started migrating to the foreign land in search of jobs. The famous CEO of General Electric stated that if you don't have a competitive advantage, it will be better not to compete. Then the people of hills didn't follow his principle, and they suffered a terrible loss. Now let's compare the crops of hills with that of Tarai. Cardamom is a locally grown crop in hill region, and it is the best suited in those cold climatic area. And cardamom is 25 times more economically valuable than rice. Now let's see next comparison. Tea, high altitude tea, also grow in hilly areas where there is cold climate and steep area, and it is also 20 times more valuable than rice. Also, there are many other off-seasonal vegetables and vegetables such as cauliflower, potato, tomato, etc., where the people of hills can sell those items in the Tarai when the season is off. Also, the many valuable medicinal herbs such as jatamashi, yasagumba grow in those areas, and they can sell their product in the market of Tarai. So our suggested scenario is the trucks loaded with food grains will be transferred from Tarai to hills, and in turn the people of hills will fill those empty trucks with their locally produced food items such as tomato, potato, cardamom, tea, etc. and send them back to Tarai. It will create a dual-way cash flow, that is from Tarai to hill and from hill to Tarai. But how can we do this? The answer is simple, by focusing on utilization of comparative advantage. Every region has its own speciality. It's not that the same crops can grow efficiently in every area. For example, in hills, the crops such as tea, cardamom, etc. Grow the best, and it will also lessen the market competition. By utilization of our comparative advantage, we can ensure food security. We have to learn from the Arabs. They are enjoying secure food environment not because they are growing a lot of food crops, but they are doing so by embarking on the production of the mineral resources. But how to carry out this project? Actually, it's a very simple one. Firstly, we must organize the farmer into a group. Then we start with the group farming, where they will sell their products collectively in the market of Tarai. Then they will be provided with the training, workshops and seminar, where they will learn about the advanced agricultural techniques and the use of new technologies such as mobile phone, SMS banking, knowing about the prices through SMS, etc. And lastly, we must ensure proper networking with the market. As we have seen in many conditions that in the lack of the proper networking with the market, the products are wasted. The results are amazing. And firstly, the market power will rise. When the people of hills started selling their product in the market of Tarai, the income will rise sidewise. When the income will rise, the purchasing power will also rise. When people have enough money to buy food, the accessibility to food will rise. And lastly, the only thing that will decrease is migration and conflicts. Let me point out the strength of our project. Firstly, it has a wide scope. It not only addresses a single sector, but it addresses all the three sectors, that is production, distribution and accessibility. Next, it is financially viable. We don't have to invest in heavy machineries, buy trucks, and so on. We just have to raise the awareness among the people to shift from the conventional method of farming and engage themselves in growing less competitive crops, so that it may lessen the market competition. And the results are quite quick. It may take about 4 to 5 months to see the results, and the effort required is very less as compared to the results. So we'd like to conclude. It is a weak idea trying to grow food grains everywhere. We must have to learn from the Arabs and focus on our comparative advantage to ensure food security. Agriculture is still able to give everything. Agriculture will never be out of fashion. The famous activist Tambisha Moyo said that unless and until the people don't have enough income, the country can't move towards the path of welfare. So in the countries, agriculture countries like Nepal, India, Cambodia, Thailand, etc., the agriculture is the main source of income. And if we focus on improving our agriculture, then we can ensure secure food environment. And lastly, before saying thank you, I'd like to convey a special message to the farmer of hills and mountain. That is, there is no such thing as a threat and opportunities. Every threat can be converted into opportunities. Let's look at the floods in the areas of Tarai areas of India and Bangladesh. In the flooded area, the vegetables can't be grown, so they can catch that opportunity. Catch that opportunity, raise the income, purchasing power. They can buy enough food. They can invest in education, transportation, development of infrastructure, and overall development. Thank you.
Thank you, Ras. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well.